Alrighty, so we're over here on some Warframe today. It's been a while since I last uploaded a video actually. In fact, I think it's been about 4 months now. And there was a single comment on that video that said play Warframe, so I guess that guy's getting his wish now. Might as well collect some weeklies while I'm talking right now, because weekly reset happened. So Destiny 2 has been my main game for a while, ever since like late 2018 with the release of Forsaken. I've been playing it every year for a good while. I have, I think, about 4,000 hours now on it, and it's definitely been a roller coaster. There have been some crazy highs and some crazy lows, and right now we're in one of the deepest lows ever. In fact, it kind of seems like there's just worse news every day. Recent news say that we're currently like at our like all-time lowest, which is not good because our previous all-time lowest, we were apparently like 5 weeks out from getting shut down. So that really puts it into perspective how bad it is right now currently. And it's pretty bad for like a multitude of reasons. First off, there was a final shape that happened, which was just an exit point for a lot of people. It was basically the conclusion of the main story, and people were not given much of a reason to stay afterwards for that, so that led to a lot of people leaving. And then on top of that, the recent expansion, Edge of Fate, just did not hit very well. I don't even think it's like the content is bad necessarily, there's just not much content. There's the campaign itself, which is an alright campaign. I can go ahead and fast travel actually. Oh, wrong one, meant to travel to Teshin. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, there's the campaign, which like story-wise it's actually pretty decent, but outside of the campaign, there's just not a whole lot else to do. There's like some little side quests I haven't even done yet because there's just like, I have no interest in doing them and you don't exactly get much from doing them. There's an exotic quest, which takes like 20 minutes probably to complete, if even. Maybe 30 minutes at most. And then there's the raid, which the raid is good, but the problem is that there was not much of a reason to do it because just the loot was not worthwhile. It's like good loot, but there's a new tier system for it, and you can't get the highest tier of loot, so it was like, why do it at that time? And then that was kind of it. There's the portal that was introduced, which is a very controversial one because it kind of just soft sunset a lot of the game. One, the portal's also kind of flavorless, and two, just old activities that are not in the portal have no purpose in doing them because they just don't reward any worthwhile loot. The loot in there is old, it's not tiered, so there's no point in doing it. And that sucks because there's a lot of good dungeons and raids, and dungeons and raids are like the peak of Destiny. So if there's like no point in doing any of the old ones, then that's kind of a very big deal. And then on top of that, recent major update that came out is just very lackluster. The activity is pretty bland and boring. It's just not all that fun to do. And then the exotic quest, or not exotic quest, but exotic mission rather, was delayed by a couple weeks, and it's pretty much regarded as the worst exotic mission there is. And exotic missions are kind of like the step below dungeons, I'd say. Like they're typically pretty good and pretty fun to do, but this one was just not it as well. And so that's kind of it. Like there's just not much else going on in Destiny. There's a Halloween event that's going to happen here soon. I don't know when that is exactly. I don't think there's been a date on that yet. And if the activity is what we think it is, then it doesn't seem like it's going to be all that fun. But we'll have to see, which we've been waiting and seeing for a lot of things, and that's not been going well. To just like add to all this, there's also just how the community is behaving right now. Like just pretty much everyone's hostile within the community. Like them hands are rated E for everyone right now. Where the frick? Okay, there it is. Shills, haters, genuine critics, streamers, devs, blueberries, elitists, casuals. It's just like everyone's getting the smoke right now. Timmy's kind of on fire right now, and I can't completely blame them because Bungie's not doing a great job at calming the community. Like there was a stupid tweet that came out somewhat recently. I mean, now it's probably like a month old. It was talking about gaining momentum, and while I do agree with them, problem is that just immediately, like a week after, there was a bunch of patch notes that came out that everyone hated. So it's not going well. It's like Bungie's not doing well, game's not doing too well, and I think it's mostly just a lack of content because really there's like nothing to do right now. November's a dead month, and if we're already at like our all-time player low, it's just going to get even worse in November. So with how all of that's just been going, I've been playing Warframe right here for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months now. It's not like my first time ever playing it, but I started like really grinding 2 or 3 months ago, I'd say. And I have not touched Destiny 2 in about 2 or 3 months because there's just nothing I want to do over there. I'm not like quitting Destiny by any means. I'm only playing when I want to play, and right now I do not want to play. And meanwhile, I've been just grinding the crap out of Warframe. I think I've put in over 600 hours in the past month or 2, so it's definitely a grind. But how is Warframe for someone that mostly plays Destiny 2, for someone that like really enjoys Destiny 2? The big pull factor for Destiny was the gameplay for me. The combat does feel really good. It's first person, which I am more of a first person enjoyer than a third person enjoyer. I don't hate third person games by any means. I mean, after all, I'm playing Warframe right here, but I've always just kind of been more into first person games. I think it's just that I like having the feel of the gun more than like the feel of the character, if that makes sense. And also Destiny 2, despite how everything's going, it still is just like a special game to me because I've just been with it for so long. Kind of just been a special part of my life. Despite how bad things are right now for it, I still do love the game. It's a very passionate love-hate relationship, but that's just how it is right now. It still is special to me. But Warframe has been pretty good so far, I'd say. My first time playing Warframe actually was in like 2017. Gave it a try and then I just was not into it at all, and it just did not click with me at all, and plus I was just really confused by the game. Warframe and Destiny kind of had a similar issue of just not much direction for new players, although Warframe has vastly improved on the new player experience. It's a lot better now. And if you've been thinking about trying Warframe but have been like hesitant to, I'd say now's probably a good time to do so. Or actually in like a few days, I'd say, because there's another quest for new players coming out that's supposed to help them. So it's like they're continuing to improve it still, which is really nice to see. Story-wise, I feel like both games are pretty good. Destiny definitely struggled at the start, and like some seasons just did not hit it, but they have been doing a lot better with story in the past few years, I'd say. And Warframe has also been pretty good. I feel like Warframe is more like better from the start though when it comes to story. It's kind of like the whole thing is pretty nice, and they're still going with it, and the future still looks good story-wise. The old piece is supposed to be like the next like really big update, and it looks very exciting. I'm not like much of a lore guy. I don't really play games for story anymore. Honestly, I've never really played games for story. I more so play them for the gameplay, actually. I feel like that should let you know that the story must be pretty good if some dumbo like me enjoys it. Someone that's not interested at story at all can find some interest in the story. I'm not exactly gonna speak much on the story because I'm not the type of guy for that. I am not a lore person. There's a lot of lore to this game, I know. I watch like Brozyme talk about it some here and there, and I'm just like, I never even knew that. I am not a reader. You gotta show and tell me stuff, not have me discover it myself. But cinematics are really good. They're pretty high quality, and this thing has always been pretty good when it comes to cinematic quality. But Warframe looks very good as well. It's pretty impressive, and they're still going. But gameplay wise, obviously you're seeing it right here. It's a lot faster in Destiny. And I'll say that if you're looking for Warframe for difficulty, I'd say that you're probably not going to get it. I don't think this game is very hard. Granted, I am like a lot more built up right now. The difficulty is more so in like actual progression, acquiring all the stuff to eventually just become way more powerful than your enemy. Like Destiny 2 has power creep, but it ain't on this level. But like that's kind of like the appeal of Warframe, I think. It's having fun with all the crazy stuff you can do. Not to say that like it doesn't try to somewhat balance itself, but it lets you get away with a lot more crazy stuff than Destiny does. And it's not to say that there is no difficult content, like there's Elite Archimedia, which I'd say is probably currently the most difficult stuff. I mean, there is level cap stuff that you can do as well, which is completely optional if you want to do that. And I'm always for that. I'm always for like optional difficulty or whatever. Also, I am just on like normal path right now instead of steel path. Like these are only like level, why are they? I can't see them. 20 enemies when they go up to, I think the level cap is like 9,999, and that's when it starts to get really tough. I mean, it gets tougher before then. It's also kind of like frame dependent and also what gear you're using, but regardless, the gameplay feels good. It's very smooth. I'm pretty picky about like camera placement when it comes to third-person games. I tried the First Descendant. Wait, is it First Descendant? I don't even remember. I think it's First Descendant. But I tried the First Descendant and it did not click to me at all. The gameplay just didn't feel very good for me. Camera felt way zoomed out, and it wasn't for me personally. But Warframe, I think it's got like a nice camera placement. I'm just kind of picky about that. Maybe I'm weird for it, maybe I'm not. I don't know. But gameplay is fast and smooth, and it feels nice to use abilities, even though I'm not really spamming abilities right now, because I don't need to. I'll say say there's also just like a lot more to do in Warframe than Destiny. Like obviously you got a bunch of materials that you need for crafting. You've got to acquire the blueprints for weapons and frames in the first place, and then you've got to acquire mods for them as well. The mods are not like individual. Like for example, just looking at my list right here, all these mods I can put on other frames as well. I don't have to get like a mod per frame. That would be too much, I think. And then obviously you've got the stats, and you're more focused on min-maxing them, which is something you do on Destiny as well, but I don't think it matters as much as Warframe. And of course, similar to Destiny, you've got a whole planet directory, although Destiny kind of seems to be going away with that with the portal, which is like another kind of dislike of the portal, because it kind of just loses some flavor by trying to go away from this planet style. So this game is pretty much like a lot more farm heavy. Like Destiny, you just get the weapon. Well, I mean, now there's power leveling. There's always been power leveling, but it hasn't completely mattered all that much. But now it actually matters because it affects the tier of your weapons, tiers 1 through 5. The higher power you have, the tier weapon you get. Although they're slowing down on the grind for that. Although Warframe on the other hand is a lot more grindy, but a lot of it is optional grind. Like currently I'm just trying to acquire everything in the game, try to get to LR5 currently. I'm MR27 right now, and at the beginning of the year I was MR14. So if that lets you know how much I've grinded in just like the past few months, then there you go. It's also just like a lot more variety. This is more variety in your weapons than your characters. Like there is some variety in your characters, of course. You've got 5 subclasses per class. I know that sounds confusing to Warframe players probably, but it's like basically on Destiny 2 you have the equivalent of like 15 frames, whereas on here Noko is coming out on it's either 16th or 17th. He's going to be like the 62nd frame, I think. By the way, sorry I'm like struggling to speak right now. I'm not used to doing I'm not used to doing YouTube. It's been a while, and 2, I'm not used to giving my thoughts like this. I'm just kind of going off freehand, didn't like create a script for this video or anything, so I'm just all over the place right now. Yeah, for Destiny you've got your Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. Then you've got Strand, Solar, Void, Stasis, and Prismatic. Whereas on here you got a lot more options, and they also have augments, which are like unique mods that change up how abilities work. And then on top of that there's a subsistence system where you can take an ability from a different frame and put it on another frame. Like for example, my 4th ability on Wisp is from Mirage and it's Eclipse. There are some limitations, like I can't put on any ability from Mirage over on Wisp. It's only Eclipse, but it does add to variety for the game. Like there really is just so much to do and so much to mess with on here. So it's like Destiny, it's pretty much just RNG with getting the weapon you want or the armor piece you want with the correct mods and rolls. Whereas on here you get your frame or your base weapon, and then you're pretty much good if you already have the mods. The mods are, if you don't have the mod, then you just have to go out and get the mod, and then once you get that mod one time, you're good. But yeah, there definitely is a lot more farming on this game. There's just so many materials, so many frames, so many weapons. There's also companions, which you see I have Helios right now. I'm only using them currently because I'm just trying to scan everything. I think I've already scanned most of Mars, but I don't know, I ain't keeping track of it. Another neat thing Warframe has, I'd say, are incarnates, which I'm using 3 right now. And basically for weapons, when you get a certain number of headshots, you can like transform the weapon. For melee, it's just a certain combo count, and it really adds a lot more to the game. Like there, I just transform my weapon. I would say that's kind of like the exotics of Warframe. So what else is there to talk about? Like this game is more grindy, but it's more optional grindy. I'd say that's kind of like a large part of the game, just grinding stuff out and then just messing with stuff, seeing what you like, what you don't like. It's all optional, it's all up to you. I don't have to do anything that I'm doing right now, but I'm choosing to do it because I just want to, and it's a lot better to me currently than the power level grind on Destiny. The issue with power level grinding on Destiny is just that there's pretty much just like one best, most efficient method, and it is exhausting. Whereas on here, there's just so much more variety in the activities that you're doing for the material that you want or whatever. It's like I'm actually hopping around the whole map instead of just staying in one place. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is the community on here compared to Destiny. The community on here is a lot nicer. People are, I don't even want to say like more helpful, because you just don't really know how helpful people are on Destiny, because the only social feature is basically on Discord, whereas in here there's actually like in-game social features. There is no region chat or UA chat or recruiting chat over on Destiny. There's an in-game LG after however many years. But there's just not much. And the clans don't have housing or anything like that, and there is no player housing. Whereas on here, you've got clans with a whole LAN housing, got your own personal quarters. In fact, you've got 3 now. You've got the back room, you've got your orbiter, and then you've got Drifter's Camp, I think it's called again. I don't really spend much time over there. Pretty much only been in the back room ever since 1999 came out. And then you've got your region chat, you've got your recruiting chat, you've got a QA chat. So if you ever have any questions, you can just go in there and talk to people. If you ever need to trade something, you can do that. And there has been some debate on whether Destiny should add trading or not. I'm kind of just like indifferent on it. I don't think it adds a lot of value to the game. I don't think it like diminishes the game necessarily, but you would need like some sort of currency that actually matters. Like on here, the currency that matters is platinum, and that matters because it's pretty much what you use to get your cosmetics. You use it for more inventory space, you use it to trade with other players. It's a lot more useful. It's a very useful currency to have. Also, community just has a lot more goodwill towards DE, and for the longest time it kind of seemed like Warframe and Destiny were butting heads over which game's better, when in reality it's more so about like which company is better, I'd say. And yeah, even though I'm a Destiny 2 fan, I have to say that DE is way better than Bungie. What DE does for its community is very cool. They have their own dev streams where they talk and explain what's coming up, which Bungie has been doing that for a little bit now, and it is nice whenever they do that. But on top of DE having a dev streams, they have the dev shorts where they directly engage with the community, answering their questions and whatnot. They're also just very likable. Like, people really love Steve and Rebecca and Megan, and pretty much just the whole Warframe dev team. And on top of all this, DE is managing 2 games, Warframe and Soulframe, and they're not having to let go of anyone. I don't know how Soulframe's going, but it seems like they've been doing well managing 2 games. Because nothing's on fire as far as I can tell. Whereas Bungie's managing Destiny 2 and Marathon, and it's just not going well. People are already speculating Marathon to be a failure. It's not looking good. And also, Destiny 2 just does not really have like a face, if that makes sense. Like, we know Tyson Green is the game director, but he never talks with the community. He doesn't engage with the community. Whereas meanwhile, Rebecca Ford is the creative director, and she's very well in touch with the community and loves to engage with it. There's also just the fact that Warframe is completely free. Obviously there's some paid stuff, but it's only cosmetics that are paid for, namely Tennogen skins. And obviously you can buy plat if you want to. Some people got no problem. For me, it's a little expensive to me, but if I get like, maybe if I got like a 75% off discount, or I think there's like a legendary 90% discount, then I'd go for it. But just comparing monetization of Warframe to Destiny 2, you've got to pay for so many expansions, and it's definitely confusing for new players to figure out which ones to buy, like which ones are good, what even the order of expansions is. I think it just causes a lot of problems, really. And then you've got the Eververse, where, you know, skins are basically like, for outfits, they're like $20, basically $15 to $20, I think. You've got to buy seasons and dungeon keys, you got to buy expansions, and then there's a whole Eververse store as well, which has a bunch of monetization. Transmog is not completely free. You're limited to how many free transmogs you can get per season. Meanwhile, what's the only monetization over on Warframe? Just skins. All expansions are completely free. All new content is completely free. It's way easier for a new player to actually get into the game, and also it just feels better for the player. It makes it to where the player has no problem spending money on cosmetics. And the cosmetics, well, they're pretty fairly priced too. I mean, skins for a frame just go for $7, which in a world where it seems like the common price for most skins in games these days are like $15. Warframe goes half that, and then on top of that, the creators of the skins get a cut of it. And then just comparing new player experience to new player. When I started Warframe, the new player experience was very rough. I'd say Destiny and Warframe had kind of similar new to player experiences in that they were both very confusing, very directionless. I've been watching Brozyme's free-to-play playthrough, and it's given a lot more direction, and like I said earlier, DE just continues to improve it. Literally in like 2 or 3 days from now, well, I guess as of the time I'm recording this, it would be like 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure it's October 17th that it's coming out. Anyway, like I said earlier, there's another quest for new players coming out that's going to explain modding. And while yeah, it is kind of late in Warframe's life cycle, I mean, the game's been out for what, 12, 13 years now? It's better late than never, because new players are important, and more important than that, you've actually got to retain the new players. As Destiny 2 gets new players, I bet, but it probably loses them after like an hour or so. I guess the last thing I've got to talk about is just like activity-wise. To me, the main activities in Destiny 2 have been the campaigns, the story quest, strikes, dungeons, raids, and exotic quests, or rather exotic missions, and whatever the seasonal activity is. I'd say the problem right now is currently we've just got, like with the latest expansion, we've just got a campaign, a raid, exotic mission, and a seasonal activity. And two of those things did not hit very well, being the exotic mission and seasonal activity. Besides that, there's nothing else to do in the game. And also, there just have not been any new strikes at all with Edge of Fate, which is just wild. I remember strikes were like one of the main things I loved doing back in Destiny 1 and prior to Destiny 2, but they just seem to be declining. Seems like they don't want to do strikes anymore, and like that's another piece of content that we're losing. Meanwhile, Warframe, you got like your basic missions. You got exterminate, rescue, spy, capture, sabotage, defense, mobile defense, which I'm currently doing mobile defense. And those activities are really not that crazy to me. I ain't got a problem with that. They're chill, I'm just walking around right now swinging my sword and killing all of them. But they're all kind of, just basic, not too mechanic heavy. And that is one thing that I still just really love about Destiny. I love dungeons and raids. Destiny, they're like the special parts of it. Warframe doesn't really have anything that matches that to me. There still are a lot of activities to do and a lot of different ones. I think the main ones for me are Elite Archimedias. You've got the Elite Temporal ones and Elite Deep ones, and those are very rewarding to do. They are only one time a week rewards basically, but it does keep me coming back weekly for them. And they're very fun to do, I think. You've got arbitrations, you've got Railjack, you've got the Circuit and whole Deviri Paradox, and you've got your open world segments with Things of Eidolon, Dorvalis, and I guess somewhat Warframe 1999. You've got a variety of enemy factions, and also just factions in general, as in like syndicates. Oh, and this right here brings up another thing, which is that the Battle Pass is basically free, or rather, it is free over on here, whereas on Destiny 2, again, you gotta pay for that. Of course, over on here, it's not as crazy, I'd say. There's not as many items, but it's completely free, so can't argue with it. Are there any mods that I need to get from here? Nothing too crazy, but I am kind of just working on collecting everything, so might as well get them. But yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. The game's fun. It's completely free to play, so if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. As I was saying earlier, there's a bunch of frames for you to try, so you're bound to find one that at least one that you really enjoy. And then there's of course a bunch of weapons, which I'm in the process of trying to get to LR5 currently. I want to like 100% the game, so it's a grind for sure. I need a lot of inventory space for this, so I'm gonna have to do a lot more trading for plat. The one thing that I would like to see improve at least is timers with the game. It does take time to craft a lot of items in this game. Like there's 12 hours per piece. Then you've got 72 hours for the big frame. I think a lot of these time constraints could be pulled back. They don't have to be completely gone, but it would be nice for them to ease up on it. I think it more so hurts newer players than it does players that are like deep in the game. It's like the timers are kind of fine for me because I'm MR27. I've got plenty of frames and gear to mess with. And also focus points are limited daily. Same with syndicates. Over here, I think I've got about a 30,000 daily standing cap. I don't mind having these caps, but if they could ease up on them a little bit, that would be nice. And then over here with Helmet, I've got subsumes that take time. Once this thing loads, yeah, 16 hours to wait through that. There's a lot of waiting for stuff to finish, although you don't have to exactly wait for it because you can just do other stuff while it's being done. But yeah, there's a lot to do in this game. A lot of good features that I would love to see in Destiny, which is kind of funny because there's the mobile Destiny Rising, that has a bunch of features that we want in Destiny 2, but it's not in there. So yeah, if you're feeling kind of bored right now and want something to play, I think Warframe's a good game to try out. Players are very welcoming, and there's a lot to do. Like, you're probably not going to get bored. I've got a lot on my plate with trying to acquire all the weapons, all the incarnates, all the mods, all the arcanes, and you don't just get the same weapon, you don't just get a weapon or frame the same way all the time, except for primes. Primes are like the one exception. They're always from relics, but for most weapons and frames, there's like a special way that you have to get them. You have to get them through different missions or different activities. So yeah, I think that's about all I got to say. Sorry I'm not the greatest at talking. It's something I need to work on by just doing more of this. For my next video, I think I'll work on getting some Warframe achievements done, because I looked actually and I'm pretty close to having all the Steam achievements on it. So I guess we'll work on that while I'm continuing to finish grinding out to LR5. I kind of just want to like 100% the game, so we'll see how that goes.